the management of Nucleus Software now joining in to talk to us about the earnings. We have with us Vishnu Dusad, co-founder and managing director of Nucleus Software. Vishnu, good morning. Thank you for taking the time out to talk to us. Vishnu, let's start with what is happening right now with business. I believe there are some specific challenges that you are facing in the international geography, so Middle East and Africa, which has led to a performance miss this quarter. Is that correct? You want to elaborate on that and tell me, do you expect a resolution and an improvement as we go into the second half of this year?
Very good morning and glad to be here with you. Yes, some of the orders that we were expecting, they have been getting delayed. Unusually, the typical order cycle used to be a year. Now it is extending to 1.5 years, 2 years. So that is the only reason not grown at the pace that we had expected we would grow.
Would you expect the delay in order to improve, or can we expect some of these orders that have not closed or converted to revenue in this quarter to actually be lumpy, and we see the conversion over the next quarter, and hence the next quarter, the second half will look far better than what we've seen behind us?
I would not be able to comment on that because of this, the way the things are panning out. But yes, we are in constant conversations with all our customers, and they are very keen to look at our intellectual property very seriously for their businesses. And that's all I can say, because conversations are on, and they are liking what we are saying and what our offerings are, what value our offerings would add to their businesses. But when it comes to specific dates, etc., I'm not in a position to comment.
Sir, okay, noted. I think these are things that are tough or have gotten tougher in the recent past. So one thing I want to quickly get a view on, or a word on, is EBIT margins vary significantly across regions. So while India is a high margin, 60% plus sort of margins that you've done, Southeast Asia is at negative 33%. What are the key drivers? When do you see this actually improve? Will it improve is a question to ask, because if it's a low margin business and there are delays in conversion to revenue, then I'm not sure what the rationale of that piece of the puzzle is.
Yeah, the margins that we have essentially are an outcome of the license revenue that we generate. And that's what we've just talked about, that we would be able to improve on those margins the moment the orders start getting in. So I won't be particularly worried about the margins part of it, because as our licenses are with the customers, the margins would be back in place.
And a sluggish quarter. Mr. Dusad, just going by the fact that it was about 12 or 15 months ago when numbers were looking rock solid because pricing had improved and there was a chance of pricing improving consistently, why is it that suddenly things are looking a bit uncertain? Yes, part of it could be because clients are not renewing contracts, but I thought pricing would probably improve quarter on quarter, year on year, as more and more clients accept your new pricing. That isn't happening?
As far as the pricing is concerned, we have done with pricing with, I would say, 95% of our customers. So there is the scope in terms of further price increase with existing customers is limited. When it comes to the margins, I think it is directly dependent on the license revenue that we would generate once the orders start coming in, and that's how we are looking at the rest of the year and as well as the future.
Question is, I just have one more question then. March 2023, which is Jan-Feb March 2023, we had revenues of about 206 crores, if I'm not wrong, right? That number has more or less stayed at that range. The last quarter numbers are 202 crores. So if there is no pricing increase happening, where does the sales growth come from? Is there a quarter wherein you move beyond this 200, 210 crore run rate?
Certainly. The growth is going to come from the new businesses that we are going to acquire, and new customers that we are going to acquire. And we are in, as I mentioned, we are in contact with a whole lot of them in most of the geographies, and that's where that's where we will be able to break this 210 crore barrier that has got set over last 6 quarters.
Just one quick question. Your other expenses have jumped up significantly Q on Q, up 20% from what I understand. And that's impacted your margins as well significantly. Is this a one-off impact on margins and one-off impact of a rise in other expenses? Or do we expect your other expenses to remain elevated going ahead, which could also mean that the margin range is now then move lower towards 15% as opposed to 17%?
Yeah, the expenses are going to be, this is not one-off. We are going to spend on talking about, what value we have been delivering for decades, and we haven't done that talking adequately enough. So that's what, that's where these expenses will continue to be at that level, if not grow further. And when the revenues come, the margins will be back where we are expecting them to be.
Mr. Dusad, we wish you all the best for that and more. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us the perspective. Really appreciate your time. All the best for the quarters ahead.